Okay, it's still Tuesday. I said it's a nice day. We can continue on. Not pretty. I cannot see the dog at all. Not pretty. So yeah, as I was saying, the punishment can't be enforced. So let's say usually these sort of punishments are monetary in nature, and according to our legislation, the courts cannot seize any money which comes from the social welfare. So if you are, let's say, a regular person and you have, a salary, police can, take the money from there immediately from your account. But if you are receiving just social welfare, financial welfare, they cannot seize that money. And so there is no mechanism to enforce the punishment. And this is why, there is no real tool to enforce kids coming to school if their money cannot be touched. And also, for example, the community is very well known for driving road unworthy, unregistered cars without any licenses, driving licenses. And once again, the police cannot do anything except they can seize such car, which is usually, low worth, and they just buy a new one. I remember a story from, I don't know, beginning of this year or last year. So someone sold one of the Roma people his car for dismantling, because one of, let's say, one of their official activities, business adventures, is in, trash collecting, recycling. So he sold the car, but they didn't completed the process of changing the ownership, legal ownership on paper. And later, the, let's say, previous owner, who was still a legal owner, had quite a lot of legal problems because they used his car, which was still, drivable, for illegal activities. And in this past few days, one commentator also, let's say, notified the public about another, let's say, scam. Well, some of the, of them have actually registered cars, usually when they have, more expensive ones. And they apparently started claiming that their cars are malfunctioning, so they brought it to car shop, and of course car shops usually provide you with an alternative vehicle according to, let's say, your policy. No beva. Tuki tuki nikujata. So, but then they figured out that there is nothing wrong with these cars, but they were using alternative vehicles to commit crime. And on Sunday, I believe, one such car shop from Novo Mesto posted a notice that until further notice they will refuse to accommodate Roma people with any of their services, including providing them with alternative vehicles. So yeah, you know, people are getting quite upset. More, you know, especially because the victim in this case was very known local man. Boimy się. So yeah, I know, very involved in local community projects. So this is why people are quite upset. And you know, in June, July, there were several such incidents of people getting hurt. So for example, the guy that was killed in 22, the 3 Roma people were first convicted for the crime, but then the higher court squashed all judgments, all 3 of them, claiming that it wasn't proven that they were actually, the 3 of them were actually in that hut and doing it together. So yeah. And then today there was another news that on Saturday, so in Maribor, a group of Roma people came to one of the local schoolyards, started threatening and extorting money from a kid who didn't want to give the money, and he then got beaten up. So yeah, as I said, people are quite upset, mad, angry about slow processes. So similarly, basically at the same time, in Montenegro there was another incident at the nightclub where 3 so there was a group of Turkish citizens who were harassing one of the local females. His boyfriend, you know, wanted to stop them. He got stabbed, but you know, immediately the Montenegrin police arrested 45 Turkish citizens who were in the club, and the government immediately suspended you know, visa-free entry for Turkish citizens to Montenegro. So yeah. Okay, we will end on this point.